The technique will probably involve having set the foundation, putting glass on top, and heating it in a very localized way until the top deforms. It results in a very striking aesthetic. It doesn't provide me peace. It's a little bit more like it's a bit brutal for me, but it's definitely not for everyone. And I think it should be classed more as a sculpture or or these art objects that you could potentially own. And you wouldn't be able to get these shapes if you weren't using the foundations itself, like the rock, as the forming tool itself to curve the glass. You're not in terms of the process, you're not curving the glass somewhere else and then trying to fit it on something. That would be a nightmare. So aesthetics, personally, it might suit certain contexts really well. And that could be some outdoor kind of theme, some kind of, I'm not quite sure, but I'm sure there are contexts where this table aesthetic would be quite stunning and striking, or to amplify the intent of a space or another, or a combination of things that you're going for. However, as a table, it scores very low on functionality because the table surface, again, is not flat. So that means the surface is not entirely all usable. And because of the nature of some of these foundations, I imagine it'd be very difficult to move and to reorientate or to adapt to, your needs on a changing kind of basis. So, yeah, that's if this is your kind of thing, awesome. Like I have no problems with this being out there in the world. I think it's another very interesting experiment of materials and philosophies. And I think you could find a perspective here to write about many different kind of philosophical kind of. You could go deep into things like this, like into the intervention between the relationships between man-made and natural, and you can really, if you're in the right moment, I think could see these objects as quite special things that mean a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Hans in terms of context. This table will suit very particular contexts. This is obviously not an everyday residential product. This is not something like that. This is somewhere in between a functional object and a sculpture, and it's probably leaning more towards a sculptural end. And the one thing about this project is that I feel incredibly deceptive in terms of design, because it's deceptive to think that making something like this is easy. There is so much going on here, so much knowledge and craftsmanship to actually realize something like this. I mean, whether it's your taste or not is a different story. But to actually make this requires an intricate knowledge of the material itself. And then if you really think about the weight of the object, A, glass is not light, B, the rock itself is not light either. So maneuvering these two in a precise way and then heating it precisely and then forming it precisely. If you notice the table below, which has actually got the glass slumped over the circular extrusion. So if you scroll down just to the next image, Brian, here, that's what it will tend to do typically. But then if you look at the image above now, it's that the peak or the cone of that rock is perfectly sunken in to the glass. So again, those are two different heating techniques to realize two different aesthetics. So yeah, to me, this product is something that you might walk past and at first glance go, oh yeah. But if you actually stop to think about it, it's a lot of energy and a lot of effort has gone into realize this. And that's why I think of it as quite a deceptive design exercise. Because something so minimal and simple, yet there's probably been an incredible amount of thought that's gone into it to actually realize it. Yeah.
Only humans would do this. It's so little bang for the buck for the average person, right? But for the special few, like it's one of those that they could probably appreciate for a lifetime.